Hello everybody, my name is Lasha Barbosa and I am 26 years old. What does someone with a brain tumor or two look like? Well, they look like me. I was diagnosed this January with a very large pineal gland cyst, which is pressing on the tectile plate in my brain, causing mass effect. As well, I was diagnosed with a posterior pituitary lesion. My headache started when I was 19. I was referred to a neurologist for increased pressure in my head, and the neurologist did a couple of taps on my knee and my head, and he said I suffered from migraines. He prescribed me a migraine medication cocktail to take every morning with orange juice. So I took this medication for years, and I also carried around extra medication in my purse in case of migraine increase. I had to take this medication on onset. I suffered for years with taking migraine medication that never took away the pain or the pressure in my head, and it made me act and feel as if I was a zombie. When I was 23 years old, I had been hospitalized 5 times for severe headaches. Each time I was pumped full of pain medication. I was sat in a hospital room all alone in the dark. And yet all this pain meds and all the time in the world never took away the pressure in my head and the headaches. Since my medication chart and my medical history stayed migraines, every time I went to the hospital, no doctor performed an MRI or a CAT scan on me. This year, after being diagnosed with both a pineal gland cyst tumor and a posterior pituitary lesion, it made me realize that the pain I was feeling in my head was real. Not just some stubborn migraine that sticks there for years in a row. When I had a headache, I never saw auras. I didn't have smell sensitivity that made me want to vomit. Yes, I had light sensitivity, but my headache was constantly there. It was there every day. And it never went away. And that's not the same as a migraine. To this day, it feels like my head has a tennis ball in the middle of my brain. It feels like someone is pushing this tennis ball down in my head, causing my eyes to protrude out of their sockets and my brain to come out of my ears and my nostrils, like something from a sci-fi movie, but that's how you feel. The increased pressure started to cause such great suffering, not just physically in me, but also emotionally. I started suffering from severe anxiety attacks, obviously depression due to the pain, and no answers. I spent many years in constant pain and suffering and not knowing if I would get through my day, let alone a lifetime of this kind of pain. I've had multiple doctors over the past year helping me through this process, and 2 out of 4 of them have urged me to seek medical help in the United States about the pineal gland cyst. 2 of my doctors told me that this pineal gland cyst is indeed the problem, and they love getting paid just like everyone else, but the Canadian government has made a rule that they cannot remove a pineal gland cyst until that person has no cerebral spinal fluid flowing to their brain, thus causing a seizure, which could actually cause the patient to die in the end. So I was left with 2 options from my doctors. One is the Canadian way, the wait and see approach. They want me to continue on more pain medication, migraine medications, and pray that my tumor doesn't grow so that I don't have a seizure and possibly die on the ground. Or 2, I can take the other 2 of my 4 doctors' advice and go get a second opinion from a neurosurgeon who specializes in pineal gland cyst tumors down in Houston, Texas. Well, on November the 28th, 2017, I decided to go with option 2. I saw the neurosurgeon in Houston, Texas, and his team for a second opinion. I spent 3 hours with the neurosurgeon and his team, and I was told that they highly recommended the removal of the pineal gland cyst tumor in order to rectify my headaches. I was told my headaches, my memory fog, all this would disappear when they removed the tumor. The same neurosurgeon had performed 2 other pineal gland cyst tumor removals on 2 Canadians that he could remember off the top of his head in the past few years. This neurosurgeon said he provided both Canadians with all the paperwork and medical support and documentation to provide the Canadian government about the harmful effects, the symptoms, and the help that these people would receive once they got the surgery done and how they felt after the surgery. Both of these Canadians have provided this documentation to the Canadian government, and the Canadian government is not giving them back any money for the surgery. It's a highly contentious matter in Canada right now. Unfortunately, if I were an American citizen and I had insurance, I would be covered under the American insurance company to pay for my surgery down there, or at least a portion of it. But here in Canada, they'll acknowledge it's a problem, but until it's obstructing the cerebral spinal fluid, it's not a big enough problem for them to worry about. And I get it. The medical system is there to help everyone, but it is still a business, and this surgery is expensive. I'm taking a leap of faith, and I'm getting the surgery done in Houston, Texas, to hopefully be headache-free for the first time in my life since I was 19 years old. I am scared, but for the first time, I'm scared because of a glimmer of hope. I cannot remember the last time I woke up without a headache. Last time, I could wear no sunglasses outside or even inside. Or the last time I wanted to surround myself with loved ones and friends without feeling internally frustrated because of my pain. Please, I ask that you help me become pain-free. Help me pay for my pineal gland tumor surgery in Houston, Texas this May 2018. And help me spread the word that pineal gland cyst tumors are important and that Canada should maybe put a little bit more effort and research into us as people in this society. No matter the cost, suffering should not be dealt with. People should be given a quality of life, not just a quantity. Thank you, and I hope that you support me in this endeavor, and I promise to give back to the Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada. I really hope that we can give some money to them at the end of my fundraising for myself to take a portion of those donations and give them to the Brain Tumor Foundation of Canada to research, and hopefully Canada will put some more money into pineal gland cysts and some more research into the systematic problems that people go through with these and the real pain and suffering that we do endure. Thank you. Love you all.